Littleton teen is transferring schools for her senior year, so she doesn't have to walk the halls with a classmate accused of sexually assaulting her. She's upset that the boy only received a suspension for his alleged behavior. CBS4 investigator Katie Weiss speaking exclusively with one of the victims.
She says this whole ordeal has been traumatizing. Not only was she sexually assaulted in the hallways of a place she once thought she was safe, she feels her school administration also failed to take it seriously. Now she's worried for the safety of other students. We want to warn you, some details in this story are disturbing.
I felt like the punishment really did not match the crime.
This 15-year-old Littleton High School student says the last 4 months of school this year were the hardest of her life. In January, she says she was groped by an older student. She asked us to hide her identity for fear of retaliation.
I was walking out of the library when this random guy I'd never seen before cornered me in the hallway and then very aggressively grabbed my boob. And I stood there and I was looking up at him and he just kind of cackled in my face and then ran off the other way.
And at that moment, what emotions were going through your mind?
I was very horrified and surprised. At school, I always felt this sense of safety, like there's so much security, but it just had never occurred to me that this could happen and in such a very public hallway, like a very busy place. It just seemed so strange.
According to a Littleton police report obtained by CBS4 Investigates, the same boy allegedly groped 3 other girls on campus within the same week. One of the girls 2 different times, totaling 5 different alleged incidents. The student admitted it, telling police, quote, he wanted to know what her breasts felt like, so he grabbed it. When police asked how he grabbed it, he said, quote, pretty hard. The police report also says he groped another girl because, quote, he wanted to see what her butt felt like, so he grabbed it, saying, quote, he didn't know why he did it other than it felt good. Police say some of the incidents were caught on school surveillance cameras. He was charged with 5 counts of sexual contact, no consent, a misdemeanor. One of the victim's mothers, who also didn't want to be identified, tells us the school gave the boy a 5-day suspension.
I was expecting maybe he'd be expelled. I was really surprised that it would come out to just 1 day per count of each of the sexual assaults. Him touching my daughter was just 1 day off of school, and same for all the other girls. I couldn't believe it was 5 days and he's back.
She says the school told her the boy would be supervised for the remainder of the semester.
I was really shocked, and I did express my concern to the school. I'm really concerned this will happen to other people. I understand he's supervised, but it could just take a day where someone's out or they're not with him for a minute. He's coming back next year. He'll be a senior. He'll have a whole nother year with access to hundreds of girls.
Littleton Public Schools policies say sexual harassment, quote, will not be tolerated, and the school district has the authority to expel a student charged with sexual violence. But it's ultimately up to the discretion of school administrators to determine the severity of punishment.
I feel like maybe we need to have a better policy, or maybe is it a certain number of people? I feel like how many girls is too many girls?
I felt like they weren't really fully prepared for this to happen.
She plans to go to a different school next year.
I feel a little better that I won't be in the same building as him, just kind of like a fresh start, but I still don't think I'll feel like completely comfortable at school again.
Littleton Public Schools declined an interview but says it acts swiftly and appropriately to student behavior concerns. The district also says it has mental health experts available to students. The DA says a pretrial conference hearing in the case is set for later this week in juvenile court.